It's me, your friend, D-Money. Back in the day, I'm talking like 2012, I was a sophomore in film school. Had a little dinky mini DV tape, Canon Allura 100, whatever. DSLR photography was the big thing. What is this? I had no idea what DSLR even stood for. So I went to the equipment room manager, Darren Williams. Would chill out all day, be really snarky to everybody. We got along. Just because, you know, we ain't got time for the jabronis. Okay, me and him? No. He told me to watch this thing called The Revenge of the Great Camera Shootout over at Zacuto. They basically just take a bunch of different cameras, iPhones, GH2s, all the way up to like REs and Reds and whatnot, and they shoot the same exact thing over and over and over, and they grade it, they do a bunch of stuff to it, and it looks fantastic. Across the board, it looks great. Who knew? The one thing that all the DPs had in common was...
You have to have a good crew or else the equipment's going to be useless.
It's the plumber, not the wrench.
Care about the story and care about your craft.
It doesn't matter how beautiful it is or how high resolution it is.
The story is the most important thing.
It's the riddle of the steel. You ever seen Conan? Of course you have. It's a great movie. It's what you have within you and not the tools that you do things with. Yeah, that's... how else can you boil it down? So, I got this GH2. It was like $700 at the time, which is... It was new then, and that's not even a lot for a camera at all. Thing is, lenses are freaking expensive. You know, they tell you to invest in the glass. You know, you can pay up to $500 to $800 for. Who's gonna pay $500 to $800 for a glass? Come on, I'm a cheapskate, and I like cheap things. Cheap beer, off-brand sodas, off-brand anything. Can't beat it. That's why I got my wide array of glass out on the table, so we can run through it together. You know, I thought it would be a little fun thing that we can do. I present to you the Cheap Bastard Lens Kit, or how to buy cool glass from Craigslist and not die. So first things first, this is a 14 to 42 Lumix. It's not the best, but it does the job. Most cameras come with a body-only option, but I would recommend getting the stock lens with it, just because it is so versatile. This is good to have. Thing is, the f-stop only goes up to 3.5. It gets wide enough to where you can like see what you need to do, but it's still pretty flat in the end. Next up, got the Nifty 50s. Most DPs, 9 out of 10, will tell you that you need a Nifty 50 in your kit. Bro, this guy was probably 16, I think. This is a Canon FD f1.8 50mm. Baby, that's pretty dang open, and it's pretty dang sharp too. Additionally, I got this brand that I've never even heard of, Asahi Optical. F2, I want to say? PK mount. It's weird. PK mount. Used to be for Pentax. Whatever. Thing about dummy mounts is it will increase the amount of millimeters on your lens. It will be longer than it seems because once you put it onto the camera, it doesn't go flush. You gotta have that little gap of nothing. So, experiment with it. I would recommend just buying it and seeing what you can do. Because at the end of the day, it's still a lens. It's still a pretty good lens. It's hefty. Comes with cool filters. This one. Check this out. Pretty dang sweet, man. Look at how cool that is! I found this at a flea market. They sold it to me for $10. $10. Next up is probably the goofiest lens in the bunch, and it's one of my favorites just because it's so weird. This is a Quantre 28 to 70mm. Thing is, the zoom and the focus are the same ring. You turn and you scoop it, and it's... whoa. I hardly ever use this thing, but it's great because it's just so long. This fits on the PK mount, so it probably gets up to around a 90mm. Nab this online for $25. Next up, you got the Soligor 130mm. Found this in a thrift shop in Houston. This was $16. I'm gonna be honest, I never even used this thing. This is the weirdest mounted lens I've ever seen. T2 to micro four thirds. Does not lock. Herein lies one of the few problems with cheap lenses. You buy them, and very rarely, they don't work. And now, my newest love, toy lenses. C-mount, tiny guys. These were used for older cameras and like CCTV. This doesn't even have a brand. This is a TV lens. That's the name of the brand. That's what's printed right there. Screw mount. The adapter is just a big ring of metal that you have to like get it in there. Look at that. Look at how ridiculous that is. But it's cool. You're not getting the amount of light that you usually do with the lens that's built for this camera because the adapter covers part of the sensor, so you get a natural vignette and a little bit of distortion around the edges. So you got like this crazy like spinning effect just by putting the lens on. That 20mm was $20 on the internet. The cool thing about buying these kits with the C mounts, whenever they come in the kit like this, you also get these tiny leather pouches of like their own filters, which is pretty sweet. I went through 8 lenses for, let's just round up, say $50 each. It's $400. That's half of my camera. That's like 2/3 of what you would pay for a good prime lens. It's actually built for your camera. And the only thing that you're sacrificing is auto features, autofocus, but who cares? I mean, come on. In fact, the entire point of this thing is to disprove that if you pay more for something, then you're gonna get more. Don't go into a camera shop and expect the deal of a lifetime. You gotta go out of your way and go to the places that most people turn their nose up at. Don't be a snob. Be better than that. Don't turn up your nose for stuff. I believe in you. I believe in the power. The power of being a cheap bastard like me.
A little sweet